The key turned in my hand. Room 112. 6 years and I still couldn't make myself open that door. Just open it, I whispered. It's just a room. But it wasn't just a room. It was where I learned that survival costs more than money. It costs your soul. My phone buzzed. A text from Ray. Room 112. Now. Don't make me ask twice. I opened the door. The smell hit me first. Bleach. Always bleach. I'd scrubbed this room 100 times and I could still smell the blood underneath. Could still hear her trying to breathe. Could still hear myself walking away. They told me to keep a secret. Just this once. Just forget what you saw. But you don't forget the sound of someone dying. You don't forget that you could have saved her. You don't forget that you chose not to. Before I tell you what happened in this room, I need you to do something. Subscribe to this channel. Right now. Because this story needs to be heard. What happened to me is happening right now to someone else. Someone invisible. Someone voiceless. Someone like I was. Comment below and tell me what city you're watching from. I need to know this story is reaching people. I need to know someone is listening. For 6 years I couldn't speak. Today I'm breaking my silence. Stay with me until the end. Mrs. Okonkwo, please sit. Ray Holbrook smiled at me across his desk like we were friends. We weren't friends. I didn't know that yet. You need work, he said. Not a question. Yes. And your visa? My throat went dry. I'm working on renewal. Are you? He pulled out a W-4 form. I'll need your social security number. I didn't move. Couldn't move. Ray leaned back. Let me save us both some time. You're illegal. You're desperate. And you'll do exactly what I tell you because you have no other choice. Am I wrong? Number. Good. $7 an hour. Cash. No questions. You clean rooms. You keep your mouth shut. And most importantly, you don't see things. Understand what things that aren't your business. Can you do that? I needed this job. My children needed me to say yes. So I did. Excellent. You start tomorrow. Carmen will train you. And Mrs. Okonkwo, welcome to the Sunset Motel. I should have run. Should have walked out that door and never come back. But I had $63 in my pocket and 2 children in Nigeria who hadn't eaten meat in 3 months. So I stayed. That was my first mistake. Carmen found me in the supply closet the next morning. You the new girl, Kai. My name is Kai. Okay, Kai. Rule 1. Don't look in bags. Rule 2. Don't ask questions. Rule 3. Never ever go into a room with a do not disturb sign. Even if Ray tells you to. Especially if Ray tells you to. You wait until they take it down themselves. Why? Carmen stared at me. Because I'm trying to keep you alive. I don't understand. You will. We cleaned 12 rooms that morning. Carmen worked fast, mechanical. I tried to keep up. My hands cramped from squeezing bottles. My back ached from bending. But I didn't complain. Complaining meant you didn't need the job. At noon, Carmen handed me half her sandwich. I'm not hungry, I lied. Eat it anyway. You look like you haven't eaten in days. I had eaten yesterday. A handful of rice. That was all I could afford. You have kids? Carmen asked. 2. In Nigeria. I have 3. Mexico. They ask when I'm coming home. I tell them soon. Been telling them that for 5 years. Mine ask the same thing. What do you tell them soon? Carmen laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. We're good liars, you and me. Have to be. It's how we survive. That afternoon Ray called me into his office. How's your first day? Good. Thank you. He pulled out an envelope. Your pay. $60. I'd worked 9 hours. Should have been 63. But I didn't argue. Count it, Ray said. I trust you. No, you don't. You're afraid of me. There's a difference. Now count it. My hands shook as I counted. $60 exactly. $3 short, Ray said. That's your lesson for today. I take a little from everyone. Insurance. Reminds you who's in charge. You have a problem with that number. Smart girl. Now get back to work. I walked out with $60 and a sick feeling in my stomach. But I didn't quit. Couldn't quit. $60 was still $60. 3 weeks passed. Then Ray called me late one night. I need you back at the motel. Now. It's 11 p.m. Did I ask what time it was? Get here. 15 minutes. I arrived in 12. Ray was waiting outside room 112. Guest made a mess. I need it cleaned tonight. Ready for tomorrow. The door was unlocked. The do not disturb sign was on the floor. Carmen's warning echoed in my head. But Ray had told me to clean it. So it was okay. Right, I pushed the door open. Dark room. Bathroom light on. Water running. Voices. Male voices. Angry. I should have left. Should have backed out and closed the door. But I was tired. Not thinking clearly. I just wanted to finish and go home. I stepped inside. The bathroom door swung open. 3 men. Blood on the floor. And a girl. Young. Blonde. Texas A&M sweatshirt. 1 shoe missing. Face purple. Eyes half open. Still breathing. That terrible wet gasping sound. "Who the hell are you?" one man said. I couldn't speak. Couldn't move. Couldn't think. "She's the maid," another said. "What are you doing here?" Ray said. "To clean." Ray said. "To clean. That son of a bitch." The girl's eyes found mine. She was looking at me. Seeing me. Begging me. "Help me. Please. Help me." Then hands grabbed my arms. Ray. Pulling me backward into the hallway. My cleaning cart crashed. Bottles rolled across the floor. "What did you see?" Ray's voice was quiet. Deadly quiet. "Nothing." "Are you sure?" Inside the room I could still hear the breathing. Still alive. Still fighting. "I'm sure." Ray's grip tightened. "Listen carefully. If you tell anyone what you saw, I call ICE. They put you in a cage in the desert. And while you're sitting there, your kids stop getting money. Stop hearing from mama. Your daughter Zara, age 15, wants to be a doctor. Your son Malik, 12, plays football. Your mother Nkechi has diabetes. Needs medication. Your medication. You follow me. How do you know their names? I know everything about you. I knew before you walked into my office. So here's what happens. You forget you came here tonight. You go home. Tomorrow you come back to work like nothing happened. Because nothing did happen. Clear." The breathing was getting quieter. Slower. The girl was dying and I was standing in a hallway doing nothing. "Clear," I whispered. "Good girl. Now get out of here." I walked away. Left my cart in the hallway. Walked past the front desk. Out into the parking lot. 6 blocks home. Past my roommates who were sleeping. Sat on my bed in the dark. I had just walked away from a dying girl. I chose my children over a stranger. I chose silence over truth. And somewhere behind me she took her last breath. 3 days later my phone lit up with news alerts. Body found 40 miles out of town. Jessica Morgan, 23, Texas A&M student. Last seen at Sunset Motel. Police investigating. Possible drug overdose. I stared at her photo. Smiling. Alive. Someone's daughter. Someone's future. Dead because I was too afraid to help her. Carmen sat next to me at lunch. She didn't say anything. Didn't have to. "Does it get easier?" I asked. "No. You just get better at pretending." "How long have you been pretending?" 3 years. Different girl. Different room. Same story. "You saw something too." "We all see things here. That's why Ray hires people like us. No papers. No power. No voice. We see things and we shut up because we have no choice." "There's always a choice." Carmen laughed bitterly. "Is there? You going to call the police? Tell them what? You're an illegal immigrant who witnessed a murder but waited 3 days to report it. They'll arrest you before they arrest Ray. That's if they believe you at all. Ray's ex-police. Has friends everywhere. You think you can fight that, so we do nothing, we survive. That's all we can do." The next day Ray called me into his office. Newspaper on his desk. Jessica Morgan's face on the front page. Family pleading for witnesses. "Sad story," Ray said. "Young girl. Whole life ahead of her. Makes you think." I stayed silent. She was here that night. Room 112. But nobody saw anything unusual. Nobody heard anything. It's like she was a ghost. "You didn't see anything unusual, did you?" "Number." "You're sure? Because police might come asking questions. And I need everyone telling the same story. Which is we don't know anything." "I don't know anything." "Perfect." Ray folded the newspaper. "Your daughter called yesterday. Zara. Couldn't reach your cell. Sounded worried. I told her you were probably working late. You should call her back. Let her know Mama's okay." My blood ran cold. "You talked to my daughter just being helpful. You work such long hours. Don't want your family worrying. So call her." Tell her everything's fine. I walked out on shaking legs. Ray had talked to Zara. Heard her voice. Could find her if he wanted to. I was trapped. That night I called my children. Zara answered on the second ring. Mama, I tried calling you yesterday. I know, baby. I was working. A man answered. He said you work at his motel. Yes. That's my boss. He sounded nice. Nice. Ray sounded nice. That was how good he was at lying. Mama, when are you coming home soon? You always say soon. I know. I'm sorry. I miss you. I miss you too, baby. So much. After the call I cried. Then I stopped crying because crying didn't change anything. Jessica was still dead. I was still silent. And Ray still owned me. 2 days later Carmen cornered me in the laundry room. I need to tell you something. What, the girl from 3 years ago? The one I saw. Her name was Sarah. Sarah Mitchell. 21 years old. Blonde. Pretty. Parents still looking for her. They come here sometimes. Ask questions. Show her photo. I look them in the eye and lie. Every time. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to know what this does to you. How it changes you. I can't look at my own kids anymore without seeing her face. Can't sleep without hearing her scream. Can't live with myself but can't die either because my kids need me. This is what survival looks like. And I need you to understand that before it's too late. Before you become like me. What are you, dead inside? Walking around but dead. That's what happens when you trade your soul for a paycheck. I didn't have a choice. We all say that. Maybe it's even true. But true or not, Jessica's still dead. And we're still cleaning rooms like nothing happened. That's the price. You better decide if you can pay it. I worked at that motel for 2 more months. Every day I passed room 112. Every day I felt Jessica watching me. Every night I dreamed about that bathroom. The blood. Her face. Her eyes begging me to help. And every morning I woke up and went back to work. Because what else could I do? I had 2 children who needed to eat. I had a mother who needed medicine. I had a life in Nigeria that depended on me sending money every week. Jessica was dead but they were alive. And I had to choose the living. That's what I told myself. But late at night in the dark I knew the truth. I didn't choose my children over Jessica. I chose my fear over her life. I chose my comfort over her survival. I chose silence over justice. And I had to live with that. 6 years later I'm still living with it. 6 years later I still can't open the door to room 112 without shaking. 6 years later I still see her face every time I close my eyes. They told me to keep a secret. And I did. For 6 years I kept their secret. I buried the truth so deep I almost convinced myself it never happened. Almost. But secrets don't stay buried forever. And the truth doesn't die just because you stop speaking it. Jessica Morgan deserves more than my silence. She deserves justice. She deserves someone to finally tell the truth about what happened in room 112. So that's what I'm doing. Starting now. Starting here. I'm breaking my silence. And once I start talking I'm not going to stop. But breaking silence wasn't as simple as deciding to speak. 2 weeks after Jessica's body was found, Ray raised my pay to $8 an hour. $1 more for keeping my mouth shut. That's what my silence cost. $1 per hour. I took the money. Hated myself for taking it. Took it anyway. Carmen noticed the extra cash when Ray handed out pay envelopes that Friday. He gave you a raise already? Yes. You know why, right? I didn't answer. Didn't have to. Carmen grabbed my arm as I walked away. Listen to me. That dollar isn't a reward. It's a chain. Every week you take it, the chain gets heavier. One day you'll wake up and realize you can't break free anymore. I'm telling you this because I care. Stop taking the money. Then what do I live on? I don't know. But I know what happens if you stay. I've been here 3 years and look at me. Look at my hands. She held them up. They were shaking. They shake all the time now. Even when I'm not scared. Even when I'm sleeping. That's what this place does to you. I can't leave. I have nowhere to go. Then you're already dead. You just don't know it yet. That night I tried to call my children. Zara didn't answer. Neither did Malik. My mother picked up instead. Kai, is that you? Yes, Mama. Where are the children sleeping? It's late here. I know. I'm sorry. I just needed to hear their voices. Are you okay? You sound strange. I'm fine. You're lying. I can hear it in your voice. What happened? Nothing happened. I'm just tired. Kai, tell me the truth. But I couldn't tell her the truth. Couldn't tell her I'd watched a girl die. Couldn't tell her I'd done nothing to stop it. Couldn't tell her that every dollar I sent home was blood money. I have to go, Mama. Kai, wait. The children ask about you every day. When are you coming home soon? That's what you said 6 months ago. It's been 2 years, Kai. 2 years since they've seen your face. Malik doesn't even remember what you look like anymore. The words hit me like a fist to the stomach. My son didn't remember my face. I'll come home soon. I promise. Don't make promises you can't keep. She hung up. I sat staring at my phone for an hour. Then I put it away and went to sleep because tomorrow I had to work. Had to clean rooms. Had to walk past room 112 and pretend Jessica never existed. 3 months passed like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Every morning I cleaned rooms. Every night I counted money. Every Sunday I called my children and lied about everything. Then one Tuesday in January, Ray called an emergency staff meeting. Police came by yesterday, he announced to me and Carmen and the 2 other housekeepers. Asking questions about Jessica Morgan. Apparently her parents hired a private investigator. Guy's been poking around, talking to people. So if anyone asks you anything, here's what you say. You don't remember her. You don't remember that night. You don't remember anything. Got it? We all nodded. Good. Because I'd hate for anyone to accidentally say something stupid and lose their job. Especially now. Economy's tough. Immigration enforcement is everywhere. Be a real shame if someone lost their work permit over a little conversation with the wrong person. He was looking directly at me when he said it. After the meeting, Carmen pulled me aside. He's getting nervous. What do you mean? Private investigator means Jessica's parents aren't giving up. Means someone's still looking. Means Ray's worried. So nervous people do dangerous things. Watch yourself. That afternoon I was cleaning room 237 when someone knocked. A man in a suit stood in the doorway. 50 years old. Kind face. Tired eyes. Sorry to bother you. I'm Mark Chen. Private investigator. Working for the Morgan family. My hands froze on the bedsheet I was changing. I don't know anything. I haven't asked anything yet. I still don't know anything. You worked here in October 2018. Night shift. Is that correct? I don't remember. You don't remember if you worked here? I don't remember anything about that night. I'm sorry. I have to finish this room. He pulled out a card. If you remember something, anything, call me. There's a reward. $10,000 for information leading to an arrest. $10,000. That was more money than I'd make in 2 years at this motel. Enough to go home. Enough to see my children. Enough to start over. I didn't take the card. I can't help you. Can't or won't both. He studied my face for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. I understand. You're afraid. That's okay. But Jessica's parents deserve to know what happened to their daughter. Just like your children deserve to know their mother. Think about that. He left the card on the nightstand and walked out. I stared at that card for 10 minutes. Then I threw it in the trash. Then I pulled it out of the trash. Then I hid it in my pocket. Then I took it out of my pocket and ripped it into tiny pieces. Then I collected all the pieces and flushed them down the toilet. But it was too late. The seed was planted. $10,000. Justice for Jessica. A way out. I couldn't stop thinking about it. That night Ray called me into his office again. Heard you had a visitor today. How did you know I know everything that happens in this motel? What did he want to ask questions? What did you tell him? Nothing. I said I didn't remember anything. Good. Did he leave you his card? Yes. Where is it? I threw it away. Ray opened his desk drawer and pulled out the card. Mark Chen's card. The same one I'd flushed down the toilet. This card. My throat closed up. Found it in the trash in 237. Strange place for something you flushed down a toilet. Unless you're lying to me. I flushed a different card. That must be his backup. Must be. Ray leaned forward. Kai, I like you. You're a hard worker. Reliable. Smart. But you're starting to worry me. First you take too long in 112. Then you're nervous around police. Now you're talking to private investigators. Makes me think you might be having second thoughts about our arrangement. I'm not. You sure? Because $10,000 is a lot of money. Especially for someone like you. I said I'm not. Okay, I believe you. But just in case you change your mind, let me remind you of something. Your children go to school at St. Mary's Primary in Lagos. Zara's in year 10. Malik's in year 7. They walk home together every day. Same route. Same time. 3:15 p.m. Takes them 20 minutes. Lot can happen in 20 minutes on a street in Lagos. Everything inside me went cold. Are you threatening my children? I'm just making an observation. Streets aren't safe anywhere these days. Good thing they have their grandmother watching out for them. Would hate for something to happen because someone wasn't being careful. You wouldn't. I wouldn't have to. I have friends everywhere. Friends who owe me favors. Friends who don't ask questions. You understand what I'm saying? I understood. He could reach my children. Could hurt them. Could take them away from me without even leaving Texas. I understand. Excellent. Now get back to work. And Kai, don't talk to any more investigators. Next time I won't be so understanding. I walked out of that office knowing I was trapped for good. Ray didn't just own my silence. He owned my children's lives. And there was nothing I could do about it. Carmen found me crying in the supply closet an hour later. What happened? He threatened my kids. Ray, he knows where they go to school. Knows what time they walk home. Said his friends could hurt them if I talk. Carmen's face went white. He did the same thing to me. 3 years ago after I saw Sarah. Told me he knew where my kids lived. Knew their names. Knew everything. That's when I knew I could never leave. Never speak up. Never be free. What do? We survive. That's all we can do. But Jessica's parents are still looking. The investigator said they're not giving up. They won't find anything. Ray's too smart. He's been doing this for years and nobody's caught him yet. You think we're the only ones who've seen things we're not. But everyone stays quiet because everyone has something to lose. That's how he operates. He picks vulnerable people. People like us. No papers. No power. No voice. Then he makes sure we never get one. For how long? Forever. Or until we die. Whichever comes first. 2 weeks later I stopped calling my children. I couldn't look at their faces anymore without seeing Jessica. Couldn't hear their voices without remembering her voice. Couldn't tell them I loved them when I knew I'd chosen money over someone else's daughter. My mother called instead. Kai, the children are crying. They think you don't love them anymore. Tell them I love them. Then why won't you call? I'm working. You're always working. But you're never here. They need their mother. They need food more than they need me. That's not true. Yes, it is. Tell them I'll call next week. But I didn't call next week. Or the week after. Or the month after. I stopped calling because every time I heard their voices I remembered that I'd traded their future for Jessica's life. And I couldn't live with that reminder. By June I'd lost 15 pounds. Stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Started drinking cheap vodka to pass out at night. Carmen noticed but didn't say anything. What could she say? She was doing the same thing. We were both dying slowly. Both drowning in guilt. Both trapped in a nightmare we couldn't escape. Then the pandemic hit. March 2020. The world shut down. But the Sunset Motel stayed open. Ray called it essential business. Essential for whom I didn't know. But I kept working because I had no choice. The stimulus checks went to everyone except us. The unemployment benefits went to everyone except us. The help went to everyone except us. Because we didn't exist. We were invisible. And invisible people don't get help. Carmen got sick in April. High fever. Terrible cough. She kept working because Ray said if she missed a shift she was fired. I can't breathe, she told me one afternoon. Go to the hospital. I don't have papers. They'll call immigration. You might die. I might die anyway. At least this way my kids still get money. She survived. Barely. But something changed in her after that. She got quieter. Harder. More broken. I should have died, she told me one day. Don't say that. Why not? It's true. Would have been easier. For everyone. Your kids need you. My kids need money. I'm just the person who sends it. They don't need me. They need what I provide. There's a difference. I started to argue but stopped because she was right. My kids didn't need me either. They needed the dollars I wired every week. Without those dollars I was nothing to them. That's what this place had done to us. Stripped away our humanity until all that was left was our labor. Our ability to clean, to scrub, to disappear. 6 months into the pandemic, Carmen showed me something in the motel parking lot. A news article on her phone. Look, Sarah Mitchell, the girl Carmen had seen 3 years ago. The one she'd walked away from. Remains found in a construction site 200 miles away. Identified through dental records. Family finally had closure. They found her, Carmen said. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm glad. At least her parents know now. At least they can bury her. Does it help knowing they found her number? Because I could have saved her. Could have called someone. Could have done something. But I didn't. And now she's bones in the ground. That's what my silence bought. That's what I have to live with. Me too. We stood in that parking lot holding each other and crying. 2 broken women mourning 2 dead girls we'd failed to save. 2 invisible people who'd chosen survival over humanity. That night I finally called my children. First time in 4 months. Zara answered. Mama, yes baby. It's me. Where have you been? We thought something happened to you. I'm sorry. I was working. You're always working. But you're never here. I know. I'm sorry. Mama, I need to tell you something. What is it? Grandmother is sick. The doctor says it's serious. We need money for the hospital. My heart stopped. How much? 5,000 naira. We don't have it. And you haven't sent money in 3 weeks. I'll send it tomorrow. I promise. Mama, I'm scared. What if she dies? She won't die. I'll take care of it. But I didn't have 5,000 naira. Didn't have 500. I'd been drinking away my guilt and now my mother was dying and I had nothing. The next morning I went to Ray. I need an advance. $1,000. Please. My mother is sick. $1,000, that's 10 weeks' pay. I'll work it off. I'll work double shifts. Please. Ray leaned back in his chair. I'll give you the money. But you owe me. I'll pay you back. Not money. A favor. When I need something from you, you do it. No questions. No hesitation. We clear? I should have said no. Should have walked away. Should have found another way. But my mother was dying and I had no other choice. We're clear. Ray handed me an envelope. Pleasure doing business with you, Kai. I sent the money that afternoon. My mother got her treatment. She survived. But I'd just sold my soul. Again. And I knew one day Ray would come to collect. That day came sooner than I expected. 2 weeks later, Ray called me at midnight. I need you at the motel. Now. What's wrong? Just get here. I arrived 20 minutes later. Ray was waiting outside room 218. Need this cleaned. Tonight. Before morning. Why? What happened? Don't ask questions. Just clean it. The door was unlocked. The room was dark. I turned on the light and saw blood on the floor. Fresh blood. Still wet. What is this? Told you not to ask questions. I can't clean this. This is a crime scene. It's whatever I tell you it is. Now clean it or you're fired. You can't fire me. I owe you money. You're right. I can't fire you. But I can call your mother. Tell her you're sending money because you're helping criminals. Ask her how proud she is of her daughter. Or better yet, I can stop you from sending money at all. See how long your mother survives without her medication. He had me. Again. Always. Forever. I cleaned the room. Scrubbed the blood. Bleached the floor. Washed the sheets. Made it look like nothing had ever happened. But I knew what had happened. Someone had been hurt in that room. Maybe killed. And I'd just destroyed the evidence. When I finished, Ray handed me an extra $100. Good work. I took the money. Hated myself for taking it. Took it anyway. Carmen was waiting for me in the parking lot. You cleaned 218. How did you know? Because I cleaned 112. This is what he does. Makes you complicit. Makes you guilty. Makes sure you can never talk because if you do, you go down with him. You're not just a witness anymore, Kai. You're an accomplice. What do I do? What can you do? You already made your choice. Now you have to live with it. But living with it was killing me. Every day I woke up and hated what I'd become. Every night I went to sleep and dreamed about Jessica. About the girl in room 218. About all the people I'd failed to save. I was drowning. And nobody was coming to rescue me. Because I was invisible. And invisible people drown silently. The drowning didn't stop. It got worse. By fall of 2020 I'd become someone I didn't recognize. Someone who could walk past room 112 without flinching. Someone who could take Ray's money without shaking. Someone who had forgotten what it felt like to be human. Carmen noticed. Of course she noticed. We were mirrors of each other now. Both broken. Both guilty. Both trapped. "You're drinking more," she said one morning. "So are you. I've been doing this for 3 years. You've only been here 2. You're catching up fast. Maybe I'm a quick learner." That's not funny. I'm not trying to be funny. We stood there in silence. Nothing left to say. What could we say? We'd both become accomplices to murder. Both traded our humanity for survival. Both chosen money over morality so many times we'd lost count. Then Ray walked up. Handed us each an envelope. "Good work last week. Both of you." Carmen took hers without a word. I did the same. Inside was an extra $50. Blood money for cleaning room 218. For destroying evidence. For helping a killer cover his tracks. "I have another job," Ray said. "Tomorrow night. Room 156. Same deal. Clean it. Forget it. Get paid." "What happened in 156?" I asked before I could stop myself. Ray's eyes went cold. "What did I tell you about asking questions?" "Sorry." "Don't be sorry. Be smart. Smart people keep their mouths shut and their hands clean. Well, as clean as they can be." He laughed at his own joke. "Tomorrow night. Midnight. Don't be late." He walked away. Carmen grabbed my arm. "You can't keep doing this." "I don't have a choice." "There's always a choice," says the woman who's been doing this for 3 years. Carmen flinched like I'd slapped her. "You think I don't know I'm a coward? You think I don't hate myself every single day? I do. But at least I know what I am." "You're still pretending you're a victim." "You're not. Not anymore. You're choosing this now. Every day you stay. Every room you clean. Every dollar you take. You're choosing to be complicit." My children need to eat. Jessica needed to live. The girl in 218 needed to live. How many more people need to die before your children's meals cost too much? I wanted to hit her. Wanted to scream at her. Wanted to tell her she had no right to judge me when she'd done the exact same thing. But she was right. And I knew it. "I can't do this anymore," I whispered. "Then don't. But I can't leave either. Then you're already dead. Like me. Like all of us." That night I called my daughter. First time in 6 weeks. "Mama, is that really you?" "Yes, baby. It's me." "Where have you been?" Malik cries every night. "He thinks you're dead." "I'm not dead." "Then where are you working?" "I told you. I'm working." "For what? What are you working for?" "We have food now. Grandmother is better. The medicine worked. You can come home." I could come home. My mother was better. My children had food. I could leave Texas. Leave the motel. Leave Ray. Leave all of this behind. But I couldn't. Because Ray owned me now. Owned my silence. Owned my guilt. Owned my soul. I can't come home yet. Why not? It's complicated. You always say that. Everything is always complicated. But it's not complicated, Mama. You're there. We're here. Just come home. I will. Soon. Stop lying to me. Zara was crying now. Really crying. I'm not a child anymore. I know you're not coming back. I know you've forgotten about us. Just admit it. I haven't forgotten you. Then prove it. Come home. Tomorrow. Get on a plane and come home. I can't. Why not? Because I did something terrible. And if I come home, terrible things will happen to you. Silence on the other end. Then Zara's voice very quiet. What did you do? I can't tell you. Did you hurt someone? Number. But I didn't help someone. And that's the same thing. I don't understand. I know. And I hope you never do. I hung up before she could say anything else. Turned off my phone. Sat in the dark and cried until I had nothing left inside me but emptiness. The next night I showed up at room 156 at midnight. Ray was waiting outside with another man I didn't recognize. Older. Expensive suit. Cold eyes. "This is Mr. Patterson," Ray said. "He's overseeing tonight's work." Patterson. The name hit me like ice water. Jessica Morgan's last name had been Morgan. But I remembered now. The news articles said her mother's name was Patterson. Jessica's mother had remarried after a divorce. This man was related to Jessica. Had to be. Same last name. Same cold eyes. Same expression. You're the housekeeper, Patterson said. Not a question. Yes. Ray says you're reliable. Discreet. Is that true? Yes. Good. Because what you're about to clean needs to stay very quiet. Understand? I understood. This wasn't just another room. This was something bigger. Something worse. Patterson handed Ray an envelope. Thick. Probably thousands of dollars. Make sure it's done right. No evidence. No witnesses. No problems. Never had problems before, Ray said. Won't start now. Patterson looked at me one more time. You didn't see me tonight. I didn't see anyone. Smart girl. He walked to his car and drove away. Ray unlocked room 156. Get to work. Inside the room was worse than 218. Blood everywhere. Furniture broken. Signs of a violent struggle. And in the bathroom another girl. Younger than Jessica. Maybe 20. Hispanic. Still wearing her waitress uniform from whatever restaurant she'd worked at. Dead this time. Not dying. Dead. I stood frozen in the doorway. I can't do this. Yes, you can. You've done it before. That was different. This is murder. 218 was murder too. You just didn't see the body. This time you do. Makes it more real. But it's the same job. Clean it. Forget it. Get paid. No. Ray stepped closer. No, did you just tell me no, I can't clean this? This is wrong. Wrong you worried about, wrong where was wrong when you took my money, where was wrong when you cleaned 218, where was wrong when you walked away from Jessica Morgan and let her die, don't talk to me about wrong. You gave up that right a long time ago. I want out. I quit. Ray laughed. Actually laughed. You quit? You think you can quit? You owe me $2,000 in advances. You've cleaned 3 crime scenes. You've been complicit in 2 murders that I know of. Maybe more. You think you can just walk away? You're in this now. All the way in. And the only way out is in a body bag or a prison cell. So what's it going to be? You want to call the police? Go ahead. Tell them everything. Tell them how you watched Jessica die. Tell them how you cleaned up after. Tell them how you took money to keep quiet. See how that works out for you. He was right. I was trapped. Completely and totally trapped. I'll give you double tonight, Ray said. $200. Cash. Plus I'll forgive $500 of what you owe me. Deal? I looked at the girl in the bathroom. Someone's daughter. Someone's sister. Someone who had a name and a life and a future. Gone now. Because of people like Ray. People like me. Deal? I whispered. I cleaned that room for 4 hours. Scrubbed blood off walls. Washed brain matter out of carpet. Bagged bloody sheets and towels and clothes. Made it look like nothing had ever happened. When I finished, Ray handed me the money. I took it. Didn't even count it. Good work, he said. You're becoming a real professional. Professional. That's what he called it. Professional accomplice to murder. I walked out of that room and threw up in the parking lot. Threw up until I had nothing left. Until I was just dry heaving air. Carmen found me an hour later. 156. I nodded. Bad, the worst. They always get worse. That's how it works. Each time is worse than the last. Until one day you realize you've crossed so many lines you can't even see where the first one was anymore. How do you live with it? I don't. I just exist. There's a difference. We sat on the curb in silence. 2 women who'd sold their souls. 2 women who couldn't find their way back. I need to tell you something, Carmen said finally. Something I never told anyone. What? Sarah. The girl I saw 3 years ago. The one they found in the construction site. What about her? She wasn't dead when I left her. She was still breathing. Just like Jessica. Just like the girl you saw. And I walked away. Just like you. I told myself I had no choice. Told myself I was protecting my kids. But the truth is I was protecting myself. I was a coward. And Sarah died because I was too afraid to help her. You couldn't have saved her. I could have tried. That's the difference. I didn't even try. I just walked away. And now she's dead. And I'm the one who has to live with that. Every single day for the rest of my life. Does it get easier? Number. It gets worse. Because the guilt doesn't fade. It grows. Every day it grows. Until it's all you are. Until you can't remember who you were before. Until you become nothing but guilt and shame and self-hatred. I can't do this anymore. Then don't. But I don't know how to stop. Neither do I, that's the problem. We're both stuck. Both trapped. Both dying slowly. And nobody cares because we're invisible. We don't matter. We never mattered. We matter to our children. Do we, or do they just need our money? If we stopped sending money tomorrow, how long before they stopped calling? How long before they stopped caring? I didn't have an answer. Didn't want to know the answer. The next morning Ray called me into his office. Need to talk to you about something. What, Mr. Patterson was very impressed with your work last night. Wants to hire you directly. Private jobs. Good money. Very good money. Interested what kind of jobs? The kind you've been doing. Cleaning. But for his organization. Not just here. Other places. Other cities. He has properties all over Texas. Needs someone reliable. Someone who keeps their mouth shut. Someone like you. I don't want to do that. Didn't ask if you wanted to. Asked if you're interested. There's a difference. I'm not interested. Ray's expression hardened. You're $2,000 in debt to me. You're an illegal immigrant. You're an accomplice to multiple felonies. You don't get to say no. You lost that right when you took my first dollar. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to work for Patterson. You're going to do exactly what he tells you. And you're going to keep your mouth shut. Because if you don't, I make one phone call and your children disappear. Not die. Disappear. You'll never find them. Never know what happened. Never hear their voices again. That's what happens to people who say no to me. Understand? I understood. I was no longer just trapped. I was owned. Completely owned. When does he want me to start? Next week. He'll be in touch with details. How long? As long as he needs you. Could be months. Could be years. Could be forever. Forever. That word hung in the air like a death sentence. I walked out of Ray's office knowing I was never going to escape. Never going to be free. Never going to see my children again except through a phone screen. This was my life now. This was all I had left. That afternoon I was cleaning room 201 when I heard screaming. Not from inside the motel. From the parking lot. A woman screaming, crying, begging. I looked out the window. A girl. Maybe 19. Ray was dragging her toward one of the rooms. She was fighting him. Kicking. Scratching. But Ray was stronger. Please, I won't tell anyone, just let me go. Too late for that, Ray said. Should have thought about that before you started asking questions. He shoved her into room 218. The same room I'd cleaned months ago. The same room where another girl had died. I knew what was about to happen. Knew what Ray was going to do. Knew I had maybe 5 minutes to save her. And I stood there watching. Did nothing. Said nothing. Just watched as Ray closed the door. Carmen appeared beside me. You going to help her? I can't. You mean you won't? What's the difference? There isn't one. Not anymore. We stood at that window together. 2 women watching another woman about to be murdered. 2 women who could stop it. 2 women who wouldn't. 10 minutes later Ray came out of 218. Alone. He saw us watching from the window. Made eye contact with me. Smiled. Then pointed at me. You're next. That's what his gesture meant. You're cleaning this one too. Carmen turned away from the window. I can't watch this anymore. Neither can I. Then why are we? Because we're cowards. Because we're already dead. Because there's nothing left of us worth saving. That night I cleaned room 218 again. The girl's name was Melissa. I knew because her ID was still in her purse. Ray hadn't even bothered to remove it. Didn't matter. Nobody would look for her. Nobody would care. She was illegal. Just like me. Invisible. Disposable. I scrubbed her blood off the floor. Washed her hair out of the drain. Bagged her clothes. Destroyed every trace she'd ever existed. And when I finished I walked to the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror. I didn't recognize the woman staring back. Her eyes were dead. Her face was hollow. Her hands were covered in someone else's blood. This wasn't me. This couldn't be me. I was a teacher. A mother. A good person. But the woman in the mirror wasn't good. Wasn't a teacher. Wasn't a mother. She was a monster. A killer. An accomplice to murder. I'd crossed every line I swore I'd never cross. Done everything I said I'd never do. Become everything I promised myself I'd never become. And I couldn't find my way back. Couldn't remember who I used to be. Couldn't see anything in that mirror except blood and guilt and shame. I smashed the mirror with my fist. Glass shattered. Blood ran down my hand. Real blood this time. My blood. Not someone else's. Carmen rushed in. What are you doing? I don't know who I am anymore. You're Kai. You're a mother. You're a survivor. I'm a murderer. No. Ray is the murderer. You're just trying to survive. By helping him kill people. By cleaning up his messes. By making it easier for him to do it again and again and again. How is that not murder? Carmen didn't have an answer. Neither did I. I stood there bleeding in a bathroom I'd just cleaned. Bleeding next to a drain that had washed away another woman's life. Bleeding in a motel where people came to die and I came to help hide the bodies. And I knew in that moment that I had two choices. I could keep going, keep cleaning, keep taking money, keep dying a little more each day. Or I could stop, could finally say no, could finally do the right thing even if it cost me everything. But the right thing meant losing my children, meant losing my freedom, meant losing my life. And I wasn't ready to lose everything. Not yet, maybe not ever. So I bandaged my hand, finished cleaning the room, took Ray's money, went home, and the next morning I woke up and did it all over again. Because that's what survivors do. We survive, even when survival means becoming the very thing we hate. Even when survival costs us our humanity. Even when we can't recognize ourselves anymore. We survive, because we don't know how to do anything else. But survival has an expiration date. Mine came 3 weeks later when Patterson called me directly. Not through Ray. Directly. I need you in Houston tomorrow. Bring cleaning supplies. Be at the Riverside Inn by midnight. Don't be late. I can't. I have to work. Ray already cleared it. You work for me now. Remember, he hung up before I could respond. Carmen cornered me in the supply closet that afternoon. You're leaving just for a few days. Patterson has a job. Don't go. I don't have a choice. There's always a choice. You just keep choosing the wrong one. What am I supposed to do? Say no? You know what happens if I say no. Carmen grabbed my shoulders. Listen to me. Once you start working directly for Patterson, you never come back. He doesn't let people go. The women who work for him either die or disappear. Either way, they don't come home. How do you know? Because I almost became one of them. 3 years ago, Patterson wanted me. Ray offered me to him. But I got pregnant. Miscarried 2 weeks later. By then Patterson had moved on to someone else. That someone else was Sarah. The girl I watched die. She wasn't random Kai. She was working for Patterson. And when she tried to leave, they killed her. The room spun. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because knowing doesn't change anything. You're still trapped. Still owned. Still going to do whatever they tell you. Not anymore. What does that mean? I'm done. I'm not going to Houston. I'm not working for Patterson. I'm not doing this anymore. Carmen's eyes went wide. You can't. Watch me. They'll kill you. They'll kill your children. They'll destroy everyone you love. Then at least I'll die as myself. Not as this thing I've become. I walked out before Carmen could stop me. Went straight to Ray's office. Didn't knock. Just walked in. I'm not going to Houston. Ray looked up from his desk. Excuse me, I said. I'm not going. I quit. All of it. I'm done. Ray stood slowly. You don't get to quit. I just did. You owe me money. Keep the money. I don't care anymore. And your children, you don't care about them either. My children would rather have a mother who's dead than a mother who's a murderer. Ray's hand shot out. Grabbed my throat. Slammed me against the wall. You think you can just walk away after everything you've seen, everything you've done? You're mine, Kai. You've always been mine. And you'll do exactly what I tell you, or I'll bury you in the desert with all the others. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't speak. Could only claw at his hand around my throat. Then the door crashed open. Carmen stood there with a gun. Ray's gun. From his desk drawer. Let her go. Ray released me. I collapsed to the floor gasping. Carmen put the gun down. No. You don't know how to use that. Point and shoot. Seems simple enough. Ray raised his hand slowly. Think about what you're doing. You shoot me, you go to prison. Your kids lose their mother. Is that what you want? I've already lost my kids. Lost myself. Lost everything. Nothing left to lose now. There's always something left to lose. Trust me. I don't trust you. I never trusted you. And I'm not letting you hurt her anymore. She's already hurt. You both are. Putting a bullet in me won't change that. Maybe not. But it'll feel good. For a long moment nobody moved. Then Ray slowly sat back down at his desk. Okay. You win. Kai doesn't have to go to Houston. She doesn't have to work for Patterson. She can quit. Right now. Walk out that door and never come back. We'll call it even. You're lying, I said. Maybe. But do you want to find out? Take the offer, Kai. Walk away. While you still can. I looked at Carmen. She was shaking. The gun wobbling in her hands. She'd never shot anyone before. Probably couldn't do it if she had to. But she was trying. For me. Put the gun down, I said. Kai, no. Put it down. Please. Carmen lowered the gun slowly. The second she did, Ray lunged. Grabbed it from her hands. Pointed it at both of us. Bad mistake. Very bad mistake. Ray, please, I said. We're sorry. We won't say anything. We'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt us. Too late for that. You pulled a gun on me. Threatened to kill me. Can't let that slide. Sets a bad precedent. He pointed the gun at Carmen first. No. I threw myself in front of her. Kill me. Not her. She has kids. Please. Kill me. Ray laughed. Kill you? I'm not going to kill you. Either of you. That would be stupid. Bodies create problems. No, I have something better in mind. He pulled out his phone. Made a call. Yeah, it's me. Need you to pick up a package. 2 packages actually. No, not the usual. Something special. Yeah. Tonight. Bring the van. He hung up. Smiled at us. Congratulations. You're both going to Houston. Patterson's been asking for a 2-for-1 deal. Now he's getting it. What does that mean? Carmen whispered. Means you're not cleaning anymore. You're working. Real work. The kind that pays Patterson back for all the trouble you've caused. Should only take a few years. If you survive that long. I understood then. He was selling us. Trafficking us. We'd become the girls we'd been cleaning up after. You can't do this. I can do whatever I want. Nobody's looking for you. Nobody cares. You're illegal. Invisible. Perfect candidates. My children will look for me. Your children think you're in America living the dream. By the time they realize you're missing, you'll be long gone. Untraceable. Just another immigrant who disappeared. Happens every day. Carmen started crying. Please. I have 3 kids. They need me. Should have thought about that before you pulled a gun on me. Ray locked us in the supply closet. Said Patterson's people would pick us up after midnight. Said we had 6 hours to say goodbye to our lives. We sat in the dark holding each other. I'm sorry, Carmen said. This is my fault. I should have shot him. You couldn't. You're not a killer. Maybe I should be. Maybe that's what it takes to survive in this world. No. Being a killer is what got us here in the first place. We stopped being human. Stopped caring about anyone but ourselves. That's why we're trapped. So what do we do? I don't know. Pray maybe. I stopped praying years ago. God doesn't listen to people like us. Maybe he does. Maybe he's been waiting for us to ask for help. And if he doesn't answer, then we die knowing we tried. That's more than we can say about Jessica. About Sarah. About Melissa. About all the girls we didn't try to save. We prayed. Both of us. In Spanish and in Igbo. Asking for a miracle we didn't deserve. And somehow impossibly one came. At 9 p.m. someone knocked on the supply closet door. Not Ray. Different voice. Mrs. Okonkwo, it's Detective Linda Hayes. Are you in there? I didn't answer. Couldn't answer. This was a trick. Had to be a trick. I know you're scared. I know you think this might be a trap. But I'm a detective with the county sheriff's department. I've been investigating this motel for 6 months. I know what's been happening here. I know what you've seen. And I'm here to help you. But I need you to open this door. How do we know you're real? Carmen asked. You don't. You have to trust me. I know that's hard. But you're running out of options. Patterson's men are coming in 3 hours. Once they take you, I can't help you anymore. So you have to decide. Right now. Trust me or don't. But decide. I looked at Carmen. She nodded. I opened the door. A black woman in her 40s stood there. Detective badge clipped to her belt. Kind eyes. Tired face. She looked real. But so had Ray when I first met him. Where's Ray? I asked. Talking to his lawyer. I have about 20 minutes before he gets back. So we need to move fast. Come with me. Why should we trust you? Because I'm the only chance you have. And because I've been where you are. Different circumstances. Different story. But same trap. Same fear. Same guilt. I know what it's like to feel powerless. To feel like you have no choice. But you do have a choice. Right now. Come with me or wait for Patterson's men. Your call. Carmen spoke up. How did you find us? Mark Chen, the private investigator working for the Morgan family. He flagged this motel months ago. Said witnesses were too scared to talk. So I've been watching. Gathering evidence. Building a case. Tonight I got a tip that something big was happening. So here I am. Who tipped you? Does it matter? It did matter. Someone had betrayed Ray. Someone close enough to know his plans. Someone brave enough to make the call. It was Carmen, I said suddenly. You called her. Didn't you? Carmen looked at the floor. I made the call 3 hours ago. After Ray locked us in. Used the phone in the cleaning cart. I didn't know if anyone would believe me. Didn't know if anyone would come. But I had to try. You should have told me. I didn't want to give you false hope. Detective Hayes checked her watch. This is touching, but we're wasting time. Are you coming or not? If we go with you, what happens? You tell me everything. I record your statement. You become witnesses. I use your testimony to build a case against Ray Patterson and everyone else involved. We shut this operation down. And then you're free. We're not free. We're illegal. ICE will deport us. Maybe. Or maybe I can help with that too. I have contacts. Immigration lawyers. Victim advocacy groups. If you cooperate, there are programs. Visas for trafficking victims. Paths to legal status. It's not guaranteed. But it's possible. And our children safe. I'll make sure of it. Put protective custody in place. Get them out of Nigeria if necessary. Whatever it takes. It sounded too good to be true. Which meant it probably was. What do you get out of this? I asked. Justice. For Jessica Morgan. For Sarah Mitchell. For Melissa Rodriguez. For all the women who died in this motel. And for the women like you who were forced to cover it up. That's what I get. That's it. Just justice. Just justice. Believe it or not, some people still care about that. I wanted to believe her. Wanted to trust her. But trust was something I'd lost a long time ago. How do we know you're not working with Ray? Detective Hayes pulled out her phone. Showed me a photo. Jessica Morgan. Young. Smiling. Alive. This is Jessica. She was 23 years old. Wanted to be a veterinarian. Loved horses. Had a fiancé who was planning to propose on Christmas. Her parents haven't slept more than 2 hours a night since she disappeared. Her little brother stopped talking. Just stopped. Won't say a word to anyone. That's what her death did to them. And you know what? I can't fix that. Can't bring her back. Can't undo any of it. But I can make sure the people who killed her pay. And I can make sure no one else has to die the way she did. That's why I do this job. Not for glory. Not for money. For people like Jessica. People like you. People who deserve better than this. I saw the truth in her eyes. She wasn't lying. She genuinely wanted to help. But helping meant betraying Ray. Meant testifying against Patterson. Meant becoming a target for the rest of my life. If we talk, they'll kill us. If you don't talk, Patterson kills you anyway. In 3 hours. Your choice. Die silent or die fighting. But either way, you're not walking out of here unless you come with me right now. She was right. I was dead either way. Might as well die for something. Okay. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. Carmen grabbed my hand. Kai, are you sure? Number. But I'm doing it anyway. You coming? Carmen hesitated. Then nodded. I'm coming. My kids deserve better than a mother who dies a coward. Detective Hayes led us out the back door to her car. Unmarked. Dark windows. She put us in the back seat. Stay down. Don't make a sound until we're clear of the motel. We drove for 10 minutes before she let us sit up. We were on the highway heading toward the city. Where are we going? I asked. Safe house. One of our witness protection locations. You'll stay there until we can get your official statements. Then we decide next steps. How long? However long it takes. Days. Weeks. Depends on the case. And Ray, does he know we're gone? Not yet. But he will soon. Which is why we need to move fast. He has connections everywhere. Cops. Judges. Politicians. Getting you out was the easy part. Keeping you alive is going to be harder. Carmen started crying. What about my kids? They're in Mexico. If Ray finds out I talked, he'll send someone after them. Give me their information. I'll have local authorities check on them. Get them somewhere safe. Carmen rattled off names and addresses. Detective Hayes made calls. Rapid Spanish. Urgent but calm. Done, she said after the third call. Mexican police are sending units to their school and your mother's house. They'll be in protective custody by tonight. How did you do that so fast? I've been working on this case for 6 months. I knew if I got witnesses I'd need protection plans ready. Your kids were already on the list. She'd thought of everything. Planned for everything. This wasn't some random rescue. This was an operation. Organized. Professional. Real. Maybe we actually had a chance. We arrived at the safe house around 10 p.m. Small apartment. 2 bedrooms. 1 bathroom. Armed guard outside. You'll stay here until trial, Detective Hayes said. Food will be delivered. No phones. No contact with anyone outside. If you need something, tell the guard. He'll get it for you. How long until trial? Months. Maybe longer. Ray and Patterson have expensive lawyers. They'll delay. File motions. Try to get charges dismissed. But we'll get there eventually. And if they get dismissed, they won't. Not with your testimony. You're eyewitnesses to multiple murders. That's hard evidence. Exactly what we need. She set up a camera. Recording equipment. Professional grade. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Tell me everything. Every detail. Every name. Every room. Every body. Everything. I told her about Jessica. About room 112. About the men. About Ray pulling me away. About his threats. About the newspaper. About his conversation with my daughter. I told her about room 218. About the blood. About cleaning it. About taking money to stay quiet. I told her about room 156. About the girl in the waitress uniform. About Patterson. About his envelope full of cash. I told her about Melissa. About watching Ray drag her into 218. About doing nothing. About cleaning up after. I told her everything. 3 hours of testimony. Every ugly detail. Every terrible choice. Every moment of cowardice. When I finished, Detective Hayes turned off the camera. Thank you. That took courage. That wasn't courage. Courage would have been speaking up the first time. This is just guilt trying to buy redemption. Redemption starts somewhere. This is as good a place as any. Carmen gave her statement next. Shorter. Sarah Mitchell. 3 years ago. Same story. Different victim. Same guilt. When we were done, it was almost 2 a.m. Get some sleep, Detective Hayes said. Tomorrow we start building the case. Figure out next steps. But tonight you're safe. That's enough. She left. The guard locked the door behind her. Carmen and I sat in the living room staring at each other. Did we just make the biggest mistake of our lives? Carmen asked. Probably. Are we going to die? Probably. Was it worth it? I thought about Jessica. About her parents who couldn't sleep. About her brother who stopped talking. About all the pain her death had caused. Yes. It was worth it. Whatever happens now, at least we finally did the right thing. Better late than never. Better late than never. We went to our separate rooms. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. For the first time in 3 years I didn't dream about room 112. Didn't hear Jessica's breathing. Didn't see her eyes begging me for help. For the first time in 3 years I slept through the night. Not peacefully. Not without fear. But without guilt crushing my chest. I'd finally spoken. Finally told the truth. Finally chosen justice over survival. And whatever came next, at least I'd done it as myself. As Kai. As a mother. As a human being. Not as a monster. Not anymore. Tomorrow would bring new horrors. New threats. New dangers. But tonight I was free. And that was enough. The freedom lasted exactly 6 hours. At 8 a.m. Detective Hayes burst through the door with 2 other officers. We have to move. Now. What happened? I asked. Ray knows you're gone. Knows you talked. He's mobilizing. We intercepted calls to 3 different hit men. You're worth $50,000 dead. Each. Carmen went pale. How did he find out so fast? Someone in the department tipped him off. We have a leak. I don't know who yet. But we can't stay here. Pack everything. You have 2 minutes. We grabbed what little we had. The guards rushed us to a different car. Different location. 40 minutes away this time. This is temporary, Detective Hayes said. Until we figure out who's feeding information to Ray. Can't you just arrest him? Carmen asked. You have our testimony. Testimony isn't enough without corroboration. We need physical evidence. Bodies. DNA. Witnesses who aren't accomplices. Right now all we have is 2 illegal immigrants claiming they witnessed murders. Ray's lawyers will destroy that in court. Say you're lying for visa status. Say you're trying to frame him. We need more. What more do you need? I said. We told you everything. I believe you. But a jury might not. Especially when Ray shows up in a suit with his police background and his community connections. He's a white former cop. You're undocumented immigrants. Who do you think they'll believe? She was right. Of course she was right. The system wasn't built to protect people like us. It was built to protect people like Ray. So what do? We find evidence. We find bodies. We find other witnesses. We build a case so strong Ray can't wriggle out of it. How long will that take? Weeks. Maybe months. Can you handle that? Could I handle months in hiding, months away from my children, months of looking over my shoulder waiting for a bullet number? But I didn't have a choice. I can handle it. The new safe house was worse than the first. Smaller. 1 bedroom. Carmen and I would have to share. But at least it had bars on the windows. Steel door. Better security. I'm posting 2 guards this time, Detective Hayes said. Armed. Trained. Anyone tries to get in, they won't make it. What about our kids? Carmen asked. Are they still safe? Mexican police have them in protective custody. But Kai, your children are still in Nigeria. I can't protect them there. Best I can do is alert local authorities. Give them your mother's address. But Nigerian police are understaffed and underfunded. I can't guarantee their safety. My stomach dropped. So my children are targets. Potentially. Ray's reach extends internationally. He has contacts everywhere. If he wants to send a message, your family is the easiest way. Then get them out. Bring them here. Put them in protective custody too. I can't. They're Nigerian citizens. No visas. No paperwork. I can't just bring them to the States. So they're sitting ducks. I'm sorry. I really am. But my hands are tied. After she left, I tried calling my mother. The number didn't connect. Tried again. Nothing. Tried Zara's cell. Straight to voicemail. Something's wrong, I told Carmen. Maybe the phones are just off. Or maybe Ray already got to them. I tried for 3 hours. Every number I had. Nothing. Finally around noon my mother called back. Kai, thank God. Where have you been, Mama? Are you okay? Are the children okay? We're fine. Why wouldn't we be? Have you noticed anyone strange? Anyone watching the house? Anyone following the children? What are you talking about? Just answer the question. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Number. Nothing. Kai, you're scaring me. What's happening? I couldn't tell her the truth. Couldn't tell her that her grandchildren were in danger because of my choices. Couldn't tell her that armed men might show up at her door any moment. Nothing. Just being careful. Listen, Mama. I need you to do something. Take the children and go stay with Aunt Ngozi. In the village. Don't tell anyone where you're going. Leave tonight. Kai, what is this about? Please. Just trust me. Go tonight. Stay there until I say it's safe to come home. You're frightening me. Good. Be frightened. Be careful. And go. Tonight. Okay. Okay. We'll go. She hung up. I prayed she actually would. Prayed my aunt would take them in. Prayed Ray's reach didn't extend to a tiny village in rural Nigeria. But prayer felt like spitting into a hurricane. Useless. Desperate. All I had left. That night someone tried to break into the safe house. We heard the noise around 2 a.m. Metal scraping. Lockpicking. The guards responded immediately. Gunshots. Shouting. Then silence. Detective Hayes arrived 20 minutes later. 1 dead. Professional. Had your photos in his pocket. $50,000 contract. The other one got away. Ray sent them, I said. Obviously. Which means he knows where you are. Again. We have to move. Third location. Right now. How does he keep finding us? Carmen asked. That's what I'd like to know. Someone's feeding him information. Someone close to the investigation. Until I find out who we're running blind. We moved to a third location. Then a fourth. Then a fifth. Every few days. Always running. Always hiding. Always one step ahead of whoever Ray was paying to kill us. 3 weeks passed. I lost 10 more pounds. Stopped sleeping. Jumped at every sound. Carmen was worse. She'd stopped talking. Just sat staring at walls. I can't do this anymore, she said one morning. You have to. Why? What's the point? We're going to die anyway. Might as well get it over with. We're staying alive for Jessica. For Sarah. For Melissa. For all the girls who can't speak for themselves. They're dead, Kai. Our testimony won't bring them back. No. But it might save the next girl. And the one after that. And the one after that. That's why we're doing this. Is it worth our lives? I don't know. But it's too late to turn back now. Detective Hayes finally found the leak on day 23. A deputy in the sheriff's office. Ray's former partner from his police days. He'd been feeding Ray information the entire time. He's been arrested, Detective Hayes said. Facing 20 years. Which means we can finally stop running. We're safe. Are we? Carmen asked. Or is there another leak you haven't found yet? There's always that possibility. But right now this is the best I can do. The deputy's arrest changed everything. With the leak plugged, Detective Hayes could finally move forward. She got search warrants. Raided the Sunset Motel. Found DNA evidence in 3 rooms. Blood that matched Jessica Morgan. Blood that matched Sarah Mitchell. Blood that matched 6 other women who'd been reported missing over the past 5 years. Ray and Patterson were arrested the same day. Patterson tried to run. Got caught at the airport with fake passports and $2 million in cash. Ray didn't run. Just called his lawyer and smiled for the cameras. This is a witch hunt, he told reporters. I'm an innocent man being persecuted by corrupt police who are using illegal immigrants to frame me. I look forward to my day in court. His day in court came 4 months later. Carmen and I testified. Told the jury everything. Ray's lawyers tried to discredit us. Called us liars. Called us criminals. Called us desperate women trying to avoid deportation. But the DNA evidence backed up our story. The bodies backed up our story. 8 dead women. 8 families devastated. 8 lives destroyed. The jury deliberated for 2 days. We waited in the safe house holding our breath. Finally the call came. Guilty. All counts. Ray Holbrook convicted of 8 counts of murder. Patterson convicted as an accomplice. Both facing life without parole. It's over, Detective Hayes said. You did it. You got justice. But it wasn't over. Not for us. The day after the verdict, ICE showed up. Kai Okonkwo, Carmen Ruiz, you're both under arrest for unlawful presence in the United States. Wait, Detective Hayes said. These women are victims. They cooperated with law enforcement. They deserve consideration. We'll consider their cooperation during their deportation hearings. But they're illegal. They have to be detained. They put us in handcuffs. Drove us to a detention center. Locked us in a cell with 30 other women. I thought you said there were programs, I said to Detective Hayes when she visited the next day. Visas for trafficking victims. Paths to legal status. There are. But ICE doesn't care. They have quotas. They need deportations. Victims are not your numbers to them. So we're being deported. I'm fighting it. Filed motions. Got immigration lawyers involved. But I can't promise anything. The system isn't designed to help people like you. Will we go to jail for cleaning the room's number? Prosecutors are declining to charge you. You were coerced. Acting under duress. No jury would convict you. So you're clear on the criminal side. But still being deported. Yes. I'm sorry. Carmen and I spent 6 weeks in that detention center. Cold. Overcrowded. Terrible food. But at least we were together. At least we were alive. The deportation hearing was brief. Our lawyers argued we deserved asylum. Argued we were victims. Argued we'd cooperated with law enforcement and deserved consideration. The judge disagreed. Said we'd overstayed our visas. Said the law was clear. Said we had to go home. Deportation orders will be executed within 30 days, the judge said. Next case. That was it. 3 years of hell. 3 years of guilt. 3 years of running and hiding and testifying. All for nothing. We were going home anyway. Carmen cried when they told her. I did all this for nothing. Risked my life. Lost everything. And I'm still being sent back. At least we're alive, I said. At least Ray is in prison. At least we stopped him. Was it worth it? I thought about Jessica. About her parents who finally had closure. About the other families who finally had answers. About all the girls who wouldn't die in that motel because Ray wasn't there anymore. Yes. It was worth it. They flew me back to Nigeria 2 weeks later. Direct flight. ICE escort to the plane. Handcuffs until takeoff. Then finally freedom. I landed in Lagos after 14 hours. My mother and my children were waiting. Zara saw me first. She ran. Crashed into me. Held me so tight I couldn't breathe. Mama. Mama. You came home. I came home, baby. I'm so sorry I was gone so long. Malik was taller. 14 now. Almost a man. He didn't run. Just stood there staring at me like I was a ghost. Malik, it's Mama. I know. Can I hug you? He hesitated. Then nodded. I held him and felt 3 years of distance between us. 3 years of phone calls and lies and absence. 3 years I could never get back. But I was home. Finally home. The first month was hard. My children didn't trust me. Didn't know me. I was a stranger who looked like their mother. We had to rebuild everything. Slowly. Carefully. I found work at a women's shelter in Lagos. Helping trafficking victims. Women who'd been lured to other countries with promises of jobs. Women who'd been exploited. Abused. Broken. Women like I'd been. I told them my story. All of it. The parts one was ashamed of. The parts that made me cry. The parts that made me sick. I told them because they needed to hear it. Needed to know they weren't alone. Needed to know someone understood. One afternoon 6 months after I returned, a package arrived. American postage. No return address. Inside was a letter. Handwritten. Shaky script. Dear Mrs. Okonkwo, my name is Margaret Morgan. I am Jessica's mother. Detective Hayes gave me your address. I hope it's okay that I'm writing. I wanted to thank you. I know what it cost you to come forward. I know what you lost. I know you did terrible things while you were trapped. But I also know you finally found the courage to speak. And because you did, my daughter's killer is in prison. Because you did, I know what happened to her. Because you did, I can finally sleep at night. You gave my family closure. You gave us peace. You gave us justice. And I will be grateful to you for the rest of my life. Jessica would have liked you, I think. She always rooted for the underdog. Always believed in second chances. Always saw the good in people even when they couldn't see it in themselves. You're a good person, Mrs. Okonkwo. I know you don't believe that. I know you think you're a monster. But monsters don't feel guilt. Monsters don't sacrifice everything for justice. Monsters don't spend their lives helping others after escaping hell themselves. You're not a monster. You're a survivor. And you're a hero. My hero. My family's hero. Thank you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you for making sure my daughter didn't die in vain. With love and gratitude, Margaret Morgan. I read that letter 10 times. Cried through all 10. Then I folded it carefully and put it in my Bible. My most precious possession. Proof that maybe, just maybe, I'd done something right. That night I sat with my children and told them the truth. All of it. What I'd seen. What I'd done. What I'd failed to do. Why I'd been gone so long. Why I'd stopped calling. Zara cried. Malik got angry. Screamed at me. Called me a murderer. Ran to his room and slammed the door. But the next morning he came to breakfast. Sat down. Looked at me. Did you really help catch them? Yes. And they're in prison for life. He thought about this. Then nodded. Good. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was a start. 3 years have passed since then. I still have nightmares about room 112. Still hear Jessica's breathing. Still see her eyes begging me for help. But I also see her mother's letter. Remember her words. Remember that I finally did the right thing. Carmen writes me sometimes. She's back in Mexico. Working at a shelter there too. Helping women like us. Women who got trapped. Women who lost themselves. Women trying to find their way back. We both lost everything. our money, our time, our innocence, our lives in America. But we gained something too. Something more important. Our humanity, our voice, our courage. And we use those things now. Every day. To help others. To fight back. To make sure what happened to us never happens to anyone else. Ray Holbrook is in prison. We'll die there. Patterson too. The Sunset Motel was shut down. Demolished. A park stands there now. With a memorial. 8 names carved in stone. 8 women who died. 8 women who mattered. Jessica Morgan. Sarah Mitchell. Melissa Rodriguez. And 5 others whose names I learned after the trial. 5 other women I'd never met. 5 other women whose blood I'd cleaned without knowing their stories. Now I know them. All of them. And I tell their stories. To everyone who will listen. To victims at the shelter. To students at schools. To anyone who thinks illegal immigrants don't matter. Don't deserve protection. Don't deserve justice. We matter. We all matter. Our lives. Our voices. Our stories. And silence is never the answer. Never. No matter how scared you are. No matter what you have to lose. No matter what they threaten. Because staying silent costs your soul. Costs your humanity. Costs everything that makes you worth saving. I learned that the hard way. In a motel in Texas. In room 112. The night I walked away from a dying girl and became someone I didn't recognize. But I also learned something else. Something more important. It's never too late to speak. Never too late to tell the truth. Never too late to fight back. Never too late to become the person you were meant to be. I walked away from Jessica Morgan. That's something I'll carry forever. Something I can never undo or forgive myself for. But I came back. Eventually. Finally. When it mattered most. And because I came back, 8 families have closure. 8 killers are in prison. 8 names are remembered instead of forgotten. That doesn't erase what I did. Doesn't make me innocent. Doesn't wash the blood off my hands. But it means something. It has to mean something. My daughter asked me last week if I regret going to America. If I wish I'd never left. I thought about it. Really thought about it. And I told her the truth. No. I don't regret it. Because everything I went through made me who I am today. Made me strong. Made me brave. Made me someone who fights for others instead of just surviving. I lost 3 years with my children. Lost my peace. Lost my innocence. But I found my voice. Found my purpose. Found myself. And that's worth everything I paid. Everything I lost. Everything I sacrificed. Because in the end, the only thing that matters is who you are when everything else is taken away. When you're stripped down to nothing but choices. When you have to decide what kind of person you want to be. I chose wrong at first. Chose silence. Chose fear. Chose survival over humanity. But I chose right eventually. Chose truth. Chose courage. Chose justice over safety. And that second choice saved me. Not from deportation. Not from consequences. Not from pain. But from becoming a monster. From losing myself completely. From dying inside while my body kept walking around. I'm alive now. Really alive. For the first time in years. And I will spend the rest of my life making sure other women find their voices too. Making sure other women know they matter. Making sure other women understand that silence is never worth the price. Because they told me to keep a secret. And I did. For too long. But I'm not keeping secrets anymore. Not for anyone. Not for anything. I'm telling the truth. My truth. Jessica's truth. Every victim's truth. And I'm not stopping. Ever. That's my promise. To Jessica. To Sarah. To Melissa. To all the women who didn't survive. I'm speaking for you. Fighting for you. Making sure your deaths meant something. And to every person out there who's trapped like I was. Every person who's been told to stay silent. Every person who thinks they don't matter because they're invisible. You matter. Your voice matters. Your truth matters. And speaking up might cost you everything. But staying silent costs even more. So speak. Scream if you have to. Tell your story. Fight back. Because silence protects predators. Truth destroys them. And the world needs your truth more than it needs your silence. That's what I learned. That's what I know now. That's what I'll carry for the rest of my life. I kept their secret. But I broke my own silence. And breaking that silence saved my soul.